So obviously the panel today is going to be talking about Christian fantasy. So what do you think sets Christian fantasy specifically aside? Are there certain tropes that are different, or is it just the presence of Christianity in the text? I mean, could you have a fantasy novel not be Christian fantasy but have a Christian main character? Is it still Christian? Like, where's the line?
That's been done. It's been done in books. It's been done in comics. One that springs to mind from the world of comics is Arak, Son of Thunder, who was basically a pagan, but he dealt with people who were in the early Christian church. Well, not early Christian church, but post-medieval Christian church and in the colonies and stuff. And so there were constant themes of this religion versus that religion. But I don't know that would qualify it as Christian fantasy, even though Christianity was mentioned. I don't think you need to specifically mention Christianity. Yeah. A lot of Christian fantasy simply has Christian themes built into it and the underpinnings built into it. That's certainly what I was going for with the fantasy universe I've been building through various short stories over the last few years. I'm moving from a world where magic is dying and all the gods in their pantheon have basically rejoined what they call the source. And the source, of course, is going to be the god, but they're not there yet. They're not ready for that yet. So we're just moving that way. But certainly you can be as overt as you like. Everybody else probably has examples of that they want to throw out.
Well, I was going to say, like Daredevil, the character was devoutly Catholic. It was part of his character arc. I would not call Daredevil comics to be, religious fiction. It just happened to be a part of the character. So, like, where is the line?
Well, you have Jim Butcher in the Dresden Files, and that one Christian guy he always is talking to and stuff. But I would not say Dresden Files was Christian fiction. So, yeah.
I'm sorry. Did you want to say more, Ms. Bussey?
Well, the only other thing I was going to say, it has to be, I think Christian fantasy has to be more than just clean. In fact, I'd say some Christian fantasy is not clean. So clean does not equal Christian fantasy. I think there has to be, and I know for myself what that element is, I think there has to be a spark of God somewhere in the story. And I use the word spark because it can even be like the book of Esther where God is never mentioned, but he is all over the pages. But I think if it's just a story about good people with morals and stuff like that, I think it's not that either. So I like that word, spark of God.
Yeah, I think if you actually try to call it Christian fantasy at some point, you're actually probably going to drop the ball. I mean, nobody likes woke anymore, or what purports to be woke, specifically because it's there to preach at you and tell you you're bad if you're not following these particular new commandments that are up this week. Stephen R. Lawhead, who's kind of the granddaddy of, if you want to call it Christian fantasy, his earlier works, if you remember, they're not bad as fantasy, but somehow all the good guys just happen to espouse evangelical American Christian views. And you know exactly where it's going, and it feels preachy.